Look, I'm about to save you from making a $500 mistake. Last month, my buddy Jake called me up absolutely furious. He'd been using his premium credit card for 8 months, thinking he was some sort of rewards genius. Turns out, he was leaving over $500 on the table because he picked the wrong card for his lifestyle. See, here's what nobody tells you about the Amex Gold and Chase Sapphire Preferred battle. Everyone's obsessing over the wrong numbers. They're comparing annual fees and welcome bonuses like that's the whole story. But the real difference? It's in how these cards actually work when you're standing in line at Starbucks, booking that weekend trip, or just trying to pay for groceries without feeling like an idiot. I've been carrying both these cards for 2 years now. I've made every mistake you can possibly make with them. And today, I'm going to tell you exactly which one deserves to live in your wallet and which one's been secretly draining your bank account without you even knowing it. So if you've been going back and forth between these two cards, or if you're currently using one, and wondering if you screwed up, don't click away. Because in the next 10 minutes, everything's gonna make perfect sense. Alright guys, let's cut through the BS for a minute. When I first started looking at premium credit cards, I was completely overwhelmed. I mean, everyone online was throwing around these crazy numbers. 5x points here, 4x points there, transfer ratios, redemption values. And I'm sitting there like, dude, I just want to know which card is going to give me more bang for my buck when I'm actually living my life. So here's what I did. I got both cards. Yeah, I know, probably not the smartest financial move, but I wanted to see which one would actually make a difference in my day-to-day spending. And let me tell you, after 2 years of real-world testing, the differences are way more dramatic than I expected. The Amex Gold? Man, this thing is like the Instagram influencer of credit cards. It looks amazing. Everyone talks about it. If you're living that foodie lifestyle, constantly eating out, ordering delivery, shopping at Whole Foods, this card will make you feel like you're gaming the system. I'm talking about earning points so fast it almost feels illegal. But the Chase Sapphire Preferred, this is the card for people who actually want to travel without jumping through a million hoops. It's not flashy, it's not gonna impress anyone at dinner, but when you're trying to book flights, hotels, or just want your points to actually work the way they're supposed to, this thing delivers every single time. Now here's the thing that really bugs me about most reviews. They act like these cards are competing for the same person. They're not. The Amex Gold is basically screaming, I love food and I live in a city where I can actually use all these dining credits. The Sapphire Preferred is saying, I want to travel smart and I don't want to think too hard about maximizing every single point. I'm making this video because I wish someone had explained this to me 2 years ago in plain English. No corporate nonsense, no affiliate link pushing, just straight talk about which card is actually going to work for your real life. So let's dive in and figure out which one belongs in your wallet. Annual fees and what they actually mean. Okay, let's start with the elephant in the room. The Amex Gold costs $250 a year. The Chase Sapphire Preferred is $95. That's a $155 difference. And if you're like most people, you're thinking, well, obviously the cheaper one is better, right? Wrong. And here's why this thinking screwed me over for the first 6 months. The Amex Gold gives you $120 a year in dining credit. That's $10 every month that you can use at places like Grubhub, Seamless, or even some restaurants, plus another $120 in Uber Cash throughout the year. Now, if you're someone who orders food delivery even twice a month or takes Uber rides regularly, you're basically getting $240 back. So that $250 fee, it's really more like $10. But here's the catch, and this is important. Those credits expire every month. You can't save them up. So if you're the type of person who meal preps every Sunday and rarely orders takeout, or you live in a place where Uber isn't really a thing, those credits are worthless. You're paying $250 for nothing. The Chase Sapphire Preferred doesn't play games with monthly credits. That $95 fee is just $95. But what you get for that money is solid travel insurance, no foreign transaction fees, and access to one of the best point transfer programs in the game. It's straightforward. You pay $95. You get travel benefits that actually work when you need them. So the real question isn't which fee is lower. It's which fee structure matches how I actually spend money. If you're constantly ordering food and taking ride shares, the Gold's fee disappears. If you travel even once or twice a year, because I'm about to blow your mind. 3 weeks ago, I was at dinner with my friend Sarah. She pulls out this shiny gold credit card to pay the $180 bill. I'm like, damn, fancy. She goes, yeah, this thing's been earning me crazy points for months. So I ask her how many points she got from that dinner. She checks her app, 720 points. I'm thinking that's pretty solid, right? Then I pull out my Chase Sapphire and show her that the same dinner would have earned me 540 points on my card. But here's the plot twist, and this is where it gets interesting. When we actually calculated the real value of those points, who do you think came out ahead? Sarah with her 720 fancy gold points, or me with my 540 boring Chase points? The answer might actually shock you, and it It definitely shocked Sarah when she realized she'd been leaving money on the table for 8 months straight. See, everyone's obsessing over which card earns more points, but nobody's talking about which points are actually worth more. And that's exactly what we're diving into today, because one of these cards is secretly way better than the other, and it's probably not the one you think. The Real Talk setup. Alright guys, let's get real for a minute. If you're even thinking about premium credit cards, you've definitely heard these two names thrown around everywhere, the Amex Gold and the Chase Sapphire Preferred, and honestly, I get why people are confused. On paper, both these cards look absolutely insane. We're talking welcome bonuses that could pay for your next vacation, earning rates that make you feel like you're cheating the system, and enough perks to make you think you've unlocked some secret VIP lifestyle. But here's what nobody tells you, and this is something I learned the hard way after carrying both cards for over a year. These cards are built for completely different types of people, like completely different. The Amex Gold is basically the Instagram influencer of credit cards. It's flashy, it looks amazing in your wallet, and if you're constantly eating out or shopping at fancy grocery stores, this thing will pump out points like crazy. I'm talking 4x points on dining, 4x on groceries, numbers that sound almost too good to be true. The Chase Sapphire Preferred? This is the quiet genius card. It doesn't scream for attention, but when you actually start using it, especially for travel, you realize this thing just works. No drama, no complicated monthly credits you might forget about, just solid value that makes sense. I'm making this video because I wish someone had explained this to me in plain English before I got caught up in all the hype. Because here's the truth. Picking the wrong card for your lifestyle can literally cost you hundreds of dollars a year in missed value, and most people have no idea it's happening. So let's break this down. No BS, no corporate script. Just the real deal about which card is actually going to work for your real life. Welcome bonuses, the shiny objects. Let's start with the flashy stuff that gets everyone excited. Those welcome bonuses. Right now, the Amex Gold is throwing around offers as high as 100,000 points if you spend $6,000 in your first 6 months. The Chase Sapphire Preferred is offering 75,000 points after you spend $5,000 in 3 months. Now, your first reaction is probably, holy crap, 100,000 points sounds way better than 75,000. And I totally get that. More sounds better, right? But here's the thing that's going to mess with your head. Those Amex points and Chase points, they're not worth the same amount. It's like comparing 100 pesos to $75. The numbers don't tell the whole story. When you actually crunch the math on what those points can get you, the difference isn't as dramatic as it looks. Those 100,000 Amex points might be worth around $1,000, $2,000 if you're smart about using them. The 75,000 Chase points, you're looking at about $750, $1,500 in value. So yeah, Amex wins on the welcome bonus, but it's not the blowout victory those numbers make it seem like. And honestly, the welcome bonus shouldn't be the main reason you pick a card anyway. Because after you earn that bonus in the first few months, you're stuck with whatever card you chose for the rest of the year. The real question is, which card is going to keep delivering value after that honeymoon period ends? Annual fees, the reality check. Okay, this is where things get interesting. The Chase Sapphire Preferred costs $95 a year. The Amex Gold, $325. That's a $230 difference. And if you're like most people, you're thinking, well, obviously the cheaper one is better, but hold up, that's exactly the trap I fell into when I first got these cards. The Amex Gold throws a bunch of credits at you to try to offset that high fee. You get $120 in Uber Cash throughout the year, $120 in dining credits for places like Grubhub and Cheesecake Factory, $84 for Dunkin' Donuts purchases, and $50 every 6 months for Resi